Hmm. Okay. Well, a few months ago, I said, or a month ago, 2 months ago, I said the sign to really start buying is when they say it's all over, right? And a certain NBC stock guy uh, was on a couple days ago, and he said, "Sell everything, sell all your Bitcoin." And shit, here we are. So I have to be honest. That's what this is all about. This is for my retrospectives, right? This is so that I learn from my mistakes. But I watched it hit 1776. Oh shit. Numbers. Anyway, and it just went up. It got to this 9 right here on the 4 hour, and I was thinking, well, let's wait for a retrace. And that retrace did not happen. So I think since the last time I streamed, I bought some Crow. So that was at like 5.6. Yeah, 0.56, 0.58. I'd have to look that up. I got a Bitcoin buy-in back here, and that was 20% of what I set aside to buy in on. So I'm not going to be unhappy about that at all. Okay, so 4 hour. I'm waiting for this RSI. So let's jump to the month, right? Because I've been saying for a little while now the monthly MACD was looking better. It was looking optimistic, right? And I think now we can say we're looking optimistic. We actually have pulled up pretty good to our 50 TEMA on the month, and that is promising. That is very, very promising to me. Our MACD is looking good. We are forming a 1 candle right now. We still have half the month though, so we'll have to see. But it's looking better. I gotta say that. Now the week was a worry spot for me. It still sort of is. We've got this convergence of the 50 and the 300, but we got a huge 2 candle. Will we get a 3? Will we get a 4 on the week? That's the question, right? So I'm looking for how many candles we get on this week to see if we carry through. And we get somewhere back up to the 200 and hopefully kind of keep that green line, that 50, from going too far underneath that 200. And that would be nice. And that would be a great signal that we are completely pulling out of this, right? Great signal. So the MACD right here, that's looking a little better on the week, right? I mean, we're not down at the bottom. We're pulling up. All of this has been like 2 days, 3 days, right? So we're going to have a lot of like pulling these ratios out of whack pretty soon here. And then the 1 day. Now the 1 day is really promising. If we had just gone up to 17 17K or 18K, well, let's say 17,800 or 18,200 on Bitcoin, and then we had stalled a little bit, that would have been a little worrying to me. And the reason really is because if we look at our indicator here, this red line right here is an indicator line. That's not one of my lines. So that would have been heavy resistance. So we would have had 100 and the TD sequential heavy resistance right around the same spot. So we blew through that like crazy. We also went all the way up to this 20K, 20.3. And this is real important because this is the top of our last kind of strong bit of support here, right? And there's a reason why I picked that, because I want this to get support above this line. So if this line extended out even further, it would be the majority of this stuff up here. Is this making any sense? Anyway, yellow line, 20K, 20.3K was real important to me. Now we have resistance at the 200. And this is not a bad thing. We're going into the weekend. Maybe we're going to have a slow weekend. If we have a good weekend, we could have a crazy Monday. Right? That is legitimately on the table. Now, I had said I wanted a V. I wanted to see it drop, and then I wanted to see it go up. Well, I didn't really get the drop that I was looking for over here, but it sure as hell shot up high. So maybe we can thank the guys at MSNBC Financial Business for telling everybody to sell their Bitcoin. I almost jumped on and streamed the moment that I heard that, but I don't want to be using other people's names and I don't want to be pointing fingers, but mainstream media is just as bad as buying stuff off of YouTube ads. If it's an ad on YouTube, don't buy it. Just don't. I don't care how good it looks. I don't care how cool it is. I don't care what kind of awesome name it's got, right? If it's a YouTube ad, just don't buy it. Just don't. Don't buy it. Don't do it. Don't have anything to do with it. Same thing with mainstream media. That's what I'm seeing over 30 years of their predictions, right? So let's remember that, like, mainstream media not too long ago was saying Bitcoin was going to go to $300,000 or $170,000, right? I've made some predictions. One of those predictions is 60K within a year. I easily see that. I see that. I see that. I see that happening. I see at least an 80% increase in the next 6 months. At least an 80%. And that's from where we are right now. That's from this 200 number. So the fact that we blew through this 200, the fact that we came right here and we are resting on that 300, right? That's a great sign. We could fall, but I don't even think we're going to fall back down to 15.7 again. To be honest, I wouldn't count on it. I had a couple buys in here and here, 10,000. These weren't my numbers. I've said this over and over again. This is what everybody was saying. Oh, that's where you should put your buys in, but I wasn't so sure. But I pulled that out now. And now I am looking for the opportunities to get back in. So I'll be watching RSI, and I may even be watching the MACD on like the hour and the 4 hour scale and looking for when my next entry should be. And I don't know. Yeah. But there's a lot of good stuff coming up. There's some great, where did this even come from? Compound. Holy cow. How does that work? So, yeah, there's some stuff happening out there right now, some huge moves. There's some big trades going on. I think this is going to be a big weekend, right? I think this is going to be a big weekend. It should be a good weekend for almost everything on my list. But I've got a bunch of stuff that is pulling away. Now, this is what I'm expecting to happen to a lot of the shit coins though. But that's not a bad thing. Um, because this might follow a fib retracement pretty good. So SNX may be ready for a buy at $2.10. It's possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's possible that on the hour it could be ready for another buy. It all depends on what's going to happen over the weekend. It's Friday night, right? So this is looking, I just couldn't be happier with it coming right above this line and hanging like that. That makes me really happy. 4 hour, we pulled away really far. And when you've pulled away this far from the TEMAs, you wanna wait for a bounce. You just want to wait for a bounce. And maybe let's look at this with a completely different indicator. Let's look at this with this Trade Pro rejection zone indicator, right? We'll look at that. So you would want to see this come much further down here before you were to place a buy. And when it does come down here, you want to look for a little bit of a bounce, right? You don't want to be catching knives. You want to wait for a bit of a bounce. Set your stop limits, guys. This is the time to set your stop limits. It's not over yet. If we go to the monthly, according to the TEMA, we're still in a downward bear trend. We haven't, quote, broken the trend on the monthly, let's see. Let's look at the week. Let's just look at the week real quick. So on the weekly, this would be telling you to buy at about 2,000, at about 25,000. This particular thing. This is why you want to use different tools for stuff. But let's get rid of this and let's go back to the TEMA. All right. There is no confirmation on this TEMA. The MACD itself could lose steam, right? If we go to our day, our MACD is going up. If we go to our month, right, our MACD is just starting to turn around. So things really look good, and this is great. And boy, I hope somebody caught, this wave. Right? I feel like I'm safe because I made BTC purchases and put that into cold storage. I made BNB purchases and Cake and Crow and put all those into either storage or stake, right? Mostly storage. So I'm about 20%, then maybe another 18% for the BNB and maybe another 20% for the shit coins and 20%. That's about how far I'm maybe 35 to 40% of what I set aside at 47K. So, and I'll be buying. This is money for HODL, so I'll be just buying it, getting it off the exchange. That's another thing. Hopefully, everybody has realized how important it is to get your stuff off of exchanges. I love Binance. I trust Binance, but I'm not keeping my cryptocurrency on Binance. Right? So keep that in mind with these exchanges. Keep this stuff. Now is the time to buy and squirrel away. Not the greatest time to trade, right? All in, to go all in. But boy, and I've been doing a little bit of cost averaging also, mainly on the crypto.com account, what I don't spend on my monthly allowance for I put on I buy some crypto with. So, and that is, I'm going to be very happy with that decision in 3 years. Right? So, we'll see. We got a 1 on the monthly candle. We are ready to turn around on the MACD and go higher. Once we get above this 25K, we could dip a little bit, but but once we get above that 25K number, we will not ever see 15.8 Bitcoin again. Right? And yeah, I'm not even going to call the bottom, but I was positive the last time that I streamed that if it made it to 17.8, then it was going to go back down. And this was my number right here. This 13.3 was where I thought it could possibly land. So I'm just going to get rid of 10K. I didn't really believe 10K, and I definitely don't believe 10K now. So, and that's about it. It's time. Things are looking good. We'll have to see. I'll be looking for an entry, right? And I'll be doing the classic thing. I'll either be looking for something on a lower time frame. Let's say Ethereum, right? I'm going to be looking at 1 hour and 4 hours, right? And probably the RSI. So right now, we have a little bit of a stall. It wouldn't hurt to wait. It wouldn't hurt to wait a little bit, and that's what I'm going to do. But it's getting close, and the more it gets, so just to be clear, oh, and I've got this line right here. Huh. Okay. So I knew that was coming. Yeah. Right. So just to be clear, I want to see support somewhere in here, and I want to see it go higher. The moment it goes higher, I'm all in. And all of that's going to get bought, and all of that's going to get taken off the exchange, and I will start over. I will start fresh with a small trading account, and build that up over the next couple years. So this is exciting. This is exciting for me. This is kind of the second cycle, so to speak. So all right, that's it. Everybody have a great weekend. I am going to take maybe some, if I do take profits, I'm the kind of guy that I'm going to go get a dozen eggs and I'm going to have an omelet, right? And that's how I'm going to be splurging in this economy. But no guacamole for me. But you guys have a great weekend, and get outside, even if it's cold. Get the blood moving. Have a good one.